Hi. I just wanted to pause for just a minute and tell you about something that's very important and dear to my heart. I am from Texas, and recently we had some very devastating wildfires, and it put a lot of people out of their homes. As you know, reading books is one of my favorite things to do. And I've read all levels of books. I've even read very beginner books that have more pictures than they do words. But in all of that, some of my favorite books are the Cowdog books. And um, the author's name is John R. Erickson, Erickson. And I just wanted to read you something. I did the book Buddy here on my channel, and it was about a boy and his dog and Hurricane Katrina and the devastation and what it does to people's lives. And I found this article on, let me see what the name of this is, World Magazine. It's an internet magazine. And I thought that I would just read you this article, just so you get a taste of some of the devastation that can happen from different, what we call natural disasters. The title of this, and I'll put the link for the actual article in the comments, in the comments below, so you can actually go and read it yourself. But the title of this is The Case of the Texas Fire, an unexpected turn of events in the life of Hank the Cowdog, author John R. Erickson. And it gives a picture of, you'll see. When a huge prairie fire looms on the horizon in the middle of the night, Hank finds himself in a sticky situation. That's the plot starter for Hank the Cowdog book number 51, The Case of the Blazing Sky. John R. Erickson has published 68 Hank books during the past 34 years to the delight of children throughout the United States and now in countries from China to Iran. On March 6th, a real-life prairie fire on their Texas Panhandle ranch left Erickson and his wife Chris in the stickiest of situations. At 2:30 p.m., a caller told Erickson fire had broken out northwest of Erickson's home, and with 40 to 50 mile-per-hour winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour, danger might be heading their way. In Hank number 51, when the prairie grass is dry as a bone, the buzzards sing, south winds moan like a saxophone, call in the dogs, put out the fire. Dry grass waiting like gasoline, call in the dogs, put out the fire. One little spark, it sure could be mean, call in the dogs, put out the fire. Given the wind direction, Erickson, at age 73, wasn't too worried. But in 2006, a fire had burned to a quarter mile of his home, and he knew winds could shift. So he grabbed his laptop computer and his wife, her mandolin. They took the most direct route to leave the ranch, but saw a big black cloud in front of them, so they headed south and made it out safely. They didn't know how their 120 cattle, 6 horses, and 2 dogs were faring. I particularly liked Dixie, a blue heeler who would leap off the Ericksons' front porch with deer-like elegance. Their fire was one of many that burned 500,000 dry Panhandle acres and 60 or so miles south of them. One prairie fire was killing 3 people, ages 35, 23, and 20. From Hank 51. The wind made a sudden shift and began blowing hard out in the north. I guess you know what strong wind does to a fire. In dry weather, it will turn a little fire into a roaring monster. And that's just what I saw in front of me, a roaring, leaping, hissing monster of a prairie fire that sent a spray of sparks shooting up into the dark sky. The wind shifted at 6 p.m. The fire raged, and by the next morning was burning itself out. The Ericksons headed to their home and saw it was gone. So was Erickson's office 200 yards away, where for years he has written every morning from 5 to 9:30. Daisy, their yellow lab, was waiting at the rubble pile, but Dixie was nowhere to be seen. Erickson said he was insured, but it's tough to see your front porch under a pile of rubble. My writing office vaporized. All my books, all the quilts Chris has made. Erickson's son Mark wrote about how weird it was to stand in the middle of the ashes of the house I grew up in, a place so familiar becomes so alien and desolate. From Hank 51. Fellers, if you've ever seen a prairie fire up close, you can't understand how scary it is. It touches something deep inside a dog and makes him want to do just one thing: get as far away as possible and run for his life. The saddest story was of the 3 in Gray County, south of the Ericksons, who died while riding to open gates so their cattle could escape. One of them, Sloan Everett, placed a call to his pregnant wife and their 2 other children, advising them to leave their ranch immediately. They left, but never heard back from Everett and his friends. Later, firefighters found them. Everett, Cody Crockett, and Sidney Wallace died from smoke inhalation and burns. Amazingly, 5 of Erickson's 6 horses and just about all the cattle, including 2 cows who calved during the fire, and those babies, survived in a canyon north of his home. Erickson spent much of the next day unloading bales of hay contributed by neighbors. From Hank 51. I stumbled and staggered through the cloud of smoke, following the sound of the singing buzzards, and not for 1 second did I ever know where I was. Then all at once I popped out of the cloud. In chapters 11 and 12 of Hebrews, we learn of a great cloud of witnesses persecuted for professing faith in Christ. Another great cloud includes Christians who help after disaster. The only clothes Erickson had were the dirty blue jeans and shirt I wore feeding the cattle in the morning. Bill Dudley, he was about my size, died of leukemia 2 years ago. His wife never got rid of his clothes. Soon I was wearing Bill Dudley's Wrangler jeans and his blue Wrangler work shirt with snap buttons just like mine, and it fits. When we go to church on Sunday, I'll be wearing Bill Dudley. As Erickson on March 7th was surveying his fire losses, Amazon.com was announcing the publication that day of Hank number 69, The Case of the Wandering Goats. This article was written by a man by the name of Marvin Olasky. Marvin is editor-in-chief of World News Group and the author of more than 20 books, including The Tragedy of American Compassion. So, that'll just give you an idea. You never know what's going to happen, and you never know how it's going to affect you. Perhaps there will be no fire for you, but perhaps someone will come along and help if there is. So, I just wanted to share this little bit since I'm a Texan and love all of Texas. So, to John Erickson and his wife Chris, may God's blessings be upon you. May he make his face to rise up and greet you. May you be granted with all of his grace and all of his peace. May he give you his shalom. Until next time, see you later. Bye.